We are back on the bottom line, and I hope you're ready to dive right back in with Susan Drayton. This is an incredible conversation we're having, and I'm so ready to dive in a little bit further. And in this segment, we're exploring what it means to use your gifts, not just to succeed, but to uplift others. And I see that also as a problem in business and life is when you do have a gift, you have established it, you have developed it, how do you use that gift to help others, help them identify their things? So, Susan, I'm so excited for this conversation. I feel like there's so much power and wisdom you have in what you're saying. So, I want to dive right in and get right to the bottom line, as this show would make it pretty relevant. You've used your creativity to support children and global causes. Why is giving back such a core part of your mission?
I, at a younger age, knew what it was like to not be seen, not to be heard by my own family, even though they knew I had the gift of being an artist, and it was right there in the most um, flesh way that you can see an image on a piece of paper or a canvas, but I didn't fit the ideal vision that they had for me. I was too different, even for my own parents. Um, but I never gave up, and that was the interesting part of me. It was like I just never gave up, and I just continued to do what I could do in the realm of what I could, and because I was ignored and not taken serious. Um, I don't want other children to go through what I went through. And as a child, you are a sponge and you absorb everything that is great and that is the opposite. But most of all, children are magical in their own way and they bring miracles. They come to this earth with hidden gems within themselves. We as adults could learn a lot from children with the innocence, with being in the now, the joy, the laughter. And somewhere along the line, us adults, we just allow too much seriousness in our souls to take heed, and we forget to balance that inner child within us. So when I have the time to meet children that are actually doing better than I am in the art realm, as teenagers, it gives me so much hope, just so much hope that the world can be created more supreme, more vital in such a profound unconditional thread if we just choose a free will to allow ourselves to jump in and embrace it and say it doesn't matter what's going on in our lives. I still yet have the free will to want to be part of that thread of joy and creation, and I too have a lot to offer to the village in our community. And I just want healthy communities. And I think we have it. We just sell ourselves short because we're too busy with the hustle and bustle and the responsibilities that we forget to honor that inner child within us.
I find that to be extremely true. Honestly, it's crazy because you did point out something that a lot of us we don't even realize when it's the last time you did something, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's at some point we lose that inner child and we become these adults and we give into societal standards or norms or these expectations of a certain way you have to be, a certain way you have to live, a certain way you have to operate. And we tend to lose that that genuine love and joy and curiosity for things, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to really swallow that pill when you realize you started declining the older you got in the sense of your
Mm-hmm.
creativity your love for life, the day to day, the beauty of the world, and that can take a big toll on you. But at the same time, it sounds like a lot of the giving back you like to do is helping kids and other people identify those gifts in themselves early and to feel comfortable in who they are, what they can do, and what they can give back to the world as well. It almost sounds like a cycle of you
Hmm.
found yourself, you want to help others find their self, and they will do the same thing. And it leads to a
Exactly.
happier, enjoyable life. So
Absolutely.
I'm curious though, what advice would you give someone who wants to use their gifts to serve others but don't know exactly where to start?
For me, I would say to them, go to places where they allow you to have your passion be shown in public. There are a lot of galleries, there are a lot of places that don't just do art, they do other mediums as well, that you can showcase what it is that you do. I mean, today we have social media. That's a great platform that you can jump into and just start showcasing what it is that you do. And then from there's groups that are legit that you can actually team up with, join, and have your questions answered to whatever circumstances. But most of all, what I've done for myself, I surrounded myself with people that are more intelligent than I am. Been there, done that. Um, they're very balanced, um, and mentally, and I can learn from them as well. But it also allows me to be vulnerable, and I'm not being judged, and vice versa. I love it that I have people that reach out to me and ask for suggestions, and I as well will do the same. And I think when you have a nice core group of humans that truly not only see your potential, but know you as time goes on, and getting the right advice, and it all aligns, and you're just going to flourish. Like last night, I was talking to two young men, and one's in college, the other one isn't. Was on his own since the age of 18. He's very scared to be vulnerable, but he's surrounding himself with positive people, and he's seeing the parts that still need to be loved and nourished. And I was talking to them about different scenarios, about interacting with different mindsets and the possibilities of what could happen for the positive and the negative. But they were also willing to talk about faith, how faith also plays in their everyday life. And these are young men, and they taught me that even though they're at the age that they're at, they're starting off, they're in their early 20s. They're excited. I saw the inner child in them. They're excited. And yes, they're getting frustrated in transitioning to the beginning stages of adulthood, but they were willing to listen to me as I was with them. We showed mutual respect, and I cheered them on as well as they cheered myself. And they are learning to stick with people that really are willing to invest in themselves no matter what, and acknowledging the small steps that I built in quality instead of quantity.
Mhm. You know, that's it's kind of funny because I can relate. You know, in my early
Okay.
20s, I wasn't exactly sure what it was I really wanted to do with life, but I
Who
just knew I
is?
was able to work hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of people know what it is they're wanting to do. They don't have that
No.
plan that's clear, concise, but something that you did mention that is vital to helping people get started, right? Is just do things publicly, present yourself. Don't be
Hmm.
afraid to be who you are in a public setting. There's people out there that will support you, but also understand you can't make everybody happy. But at the same time, you also talked about the power of surrounding yourself with the right people. So there's a little saying that I work with my mentees, and I try to always make sure they understand this. The people you surround yourself with can either become the wind beneath your wings or the weight that stops you from flying. There's
Absolutely.
two possibilities, and those people all contribute to who you are and what you become. So you've got to safeguard that. Those people can help drive you forward at the same time as they can slow you down. But I do find it rather powerful the way that you presented this because it's that mutual respect and understanding. You put yourself on their level and you opened
Hmm.
up that door so it didn't feel like they were being talked down to. They weren't being spoken over. It was open dialogue for somebody who's able to give a little bit of guidance, a little nudge in the right direction with some subtle information and experience and wisdom. And that sometimes that's all it takes. You never know what you say and how big of an impact it can have on somebody. That's why I believe in surrounding yourself with the right people.
And for me, I enjoy meeting people because their journey is rich. They may not feel it, they may not know it, but it's rich. And I get curious as to, what the question becomes, your life adventure. How much of an adventure have you been
That is
experiencing?
so, so true. So true. I have loved this conversation. There's a massive amount of wisdom that you've provided to me and to our viewers today. Such a pleasure having you on. Don't go anywhere. There is more to come. I've got some thoughts and beliefs that I want to talk about in the next segment. We will be right back on the bottom line.